Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about 14 things every new driver should do to maximize earnings and to make sure you get that 5-star rating. Stay tuned. Hi folks, I'm DriverLadyPro. I drive like a boss, but I try to stay classy like a lady. If you're new here, please hit that notification bell and the subscribe button. And if you're a returning person or the new person, give me a thumbs up. So on this channel, we talk about rideshare and delivery topics. I do both Lyft, Uber, and Uber Eats right now. I upload every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Time, and I have a podcast every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Okay, guys, this is how I start out every single day so that I can maximize my earnings and keep that good 5-star rating. So, the first thing I do before I even go out to my car is I make sure I exercise my wrist. If you're going to be driving for long periods of time, even 4 or 5 hours, you may end up at the end of your shift with you feeling so much tension and pain in your wrist because you are doing repetitive stuff. So to keep the carpal tunnel at bay, make sure you exercise before and after. This is what I do. This will exercise this, and this will exercise this area. Also, make sure you hit those ankles because you're pushing down on that gas pedals all the time. Number 2, I restart my phone and turn off all extra apps. This is very important. You get in a busy area and you have a bunch of apps going, and there's a bunch of people also going, say for instance, O'Hare Airport. I've been in the queue before. I had 6 people in front of me, and my phone has bogged down. And it has a lot to do with the fact that I had other apps going on. Maybe I was talking on the phone, etc. The minute you get into an airport, do not do all sorts of other stuff because everybody else is using this. The next thing I make sure I do every single day is I make sure I fuel up my car. If you leave out on a quarter of a tank and you get a ride going forever and away and you run out of gas, you could lose your job because of it. You could be deactivated. This is not good customer service. So make sure when you leave, you have a full tank of gas. And I always make sure I hit the cheapest place. I have a special membership at a particular place, and I make sure I hit that place because when I get in the city of Chicago, it's always like at least 20 cents per gallon more. So I don't want to get caught needing gas in the city of Chicago. One quick thing that I forgot to mention, and it's very important, before you get your ride started, make sure you vacuum your car and make sure it smells good. I don't mean put a whole bunch of those scents in it because women especially have a acute sense of smell. I have had women passengers get in my car and I've sprayed Febreze and they say, "Oh, I don't like that." And I thought, who doesn't like Febreze? But they couldn't stand it and the ride didn't go well. So if you have a foul smell in your car, spray a little but then roll down your windows. Number 5, I have a game plan. Every day I know from 4 till 7 is stupid busy in Chicago. Everybody is going here, there, everywhere. It's a busy time. That is where I can maximize my earnings. So I leave out my house. I'm in the north side. Personally, I leave out of my house by 3 o'clock. No later than. And then the reason why is it takes, when it's not busy, it takes a half an hour at the most to get to Chicago. When it's busy, at least an hour to get to Chicago. So I try to I leave my house and I set my destination filter so that I make sure I'm in the surge by 4 o'clock when the surge starts. So that is a good game plan for you to at least get started testing out your market and finding out, try to check out various times, and it's a nice thing. Now Uber tells you when it's more busy and when it's not in the Uber app. But here is the next thing I want to talk to you about. One app is not good enough. Get both apps. Why, you say? Well, first of all, Uber will tell you how it's going to happen for the next few hours, but Lyft will give you a lot farther in advance notice of exactly how everything is going to be busy or unbusy. So another thing that the reason why I have two apps, Uber owns 70% of the market, Lyft owns 30%. I really like Lyft a little bit more than Uber, but you know Lyft is going to be not as busy as Uber. So I have both apps so that if I'm out stranded in an area way far away, I have both apps so that I can keep moving, keep going, maximize my earnings. The other thing that I can do is a lot of times Uber will offer a promotion during a certain period of time. You drive 10 rides during 4 to 9 and you can get an extra $50, and Lyft will also offer a promotion during that time, and you can choose what's better. Do what's best for you. You like Lyft better, drive more for Lyft. But if you're stranded, you can use Uber to get back out. So that is my second thing. When you get a request, turn off the other app. That's what I do. I make it a habit. I make it a habit. The minute I get a request, bing, I got a request for Lyft, turn off the Uber app, or else you could ping your acceptance rate and they will nag the heck out of you. I don't think you can get deactivated for it anymore, but you don't want to have a low acceptance rate. Number 7, when the rider is getting into your car, this is what you say. What's the name on the ride? Okay, do not say, "Oh, Joe, hi, Joe." Don't give them the name. Ask them, what is the name of the rider? And make sure you cover the name so they can't look over at it. The reason for this will help rider fraud. Many times I have talked to passengers that have said because they live in a high-rise, they'll order an Uber. Other people will get in their Uber and then they will try to get them to bring them to a different destination. So here is the second little bonus tip with that. Make sure if a rider is in your car, they change the and they want you to go somewhere else, you ask them to change the destination in their app. Do not just open up Google Maps and go somewhere else. No. Make them change the destination in the app so you know for sure that is the customer. Also, if they claim, "Oh, she brought me to heck and gone over here, I don't owe that much money," you can say, "No, they changed the destination in the app." Next thing, number 8, once they say, "Oh, the ride is for Joe." "Oh, hi, Joe." If you talk to them and say their name a few times, this is a psychological thing. If you say their name a few times, it shows that you genuinely care for them. People will think, "Oh, she's friendly. So, hi, Joe. How are you today, Joe?" So that's how I get my ride started. I say their name at least a couple times. This is the next thing I do, and this is number 9. Once I have the customer in the car, I wait. I don't take off and let it load while I'm driving. I wait for everything to load, and I will say, "Okay, Joe, you have 10 minutes until you get to your destination." That way I'm setting a precedent that this is a professional precedent in the car. If the customer says, well, I know you say it's going to take 10 minutes, but I really need to be there as fast as you possibly can. The best way to handle this type of situation, I have found for myself, is I say, well, it is most important that I get you there safe, and generally speaking, the time that Google Maps or Uber Maps gives me for me to get you there is the time that it actually takes, plus or minus a few minutes. I will try to hurry as much as I possibly can, but I need to keep safety in mind. That is what I say to customers that want to get there quickly. Another thing, if a customer says to you, please, I want you to take this particular route, remember, they are a customer and we want to give good customer service. This is our business. A business that doesn't give amazing customer service fails. So the next thing you want to do is, if they say take Reynolds Street instead of Armitage, take Reynolds Street and just do exactly what they say. A lot of times they can help you avoid stuff that the computer doesn't necessarily know about. So another very important thing, and this is number 10. Like I said, safety is number one, and in Lyft's insurance, they say you have to ask all your customers to buckle up in your car in order. If you haven't done that, the insurance won't cover you. So it's a good practice, and it's very professional if you set the precedent in your car by saying, please, can you buckle up? If you always forget, like I do, get a sign. Go to the library, print out a sign, put it on your car with a safety pin. Please buckle up. It's just that simple, and you are following the law. The other thing that I have mentioned earlier is when you set your precedents, it is a psychological fact that if you look somebody in the eye for more than 10 seconds, and I don't mean stare, whoa, 6 to 10 seconds, they feel more at ease with you. And also, you are establishing your dominance. I have said it in other videos, I'm going to say it again. Establish your dominance, even if it means to look in the rearview mirror and look back. Oh, Joe, it's going to take 10 minutes for you to get to your destination. You're looking at them in the eye and establishing your dominance, and it's going to help you to have control over your vehicle and what happens in your vehicle. Okay, so number 12. It is really important that you be smart and avoid conflict. If somebody is talking about stuff that you don't agree with, it is not time to have arguments. Maybe if you're talking with your buddy and you already have an established respect for each other, it might be a different thing. But one most important rule that I never do in my car is I do not talk about politics or religion. I know you've heard your grandma or your mom say no politics or religion at the table, please. Same in your car. This is Switzerland. Switzerland was neutral in the war. Stay neutral. Neutral topics. All you have to do is, you don't have to bark at people. Oh, don't take. In this car, we try not to discuss politics or religion. Let's talk about something else, guys. How was your weekend? One important thing that is important, and it's in the same subject, please don't complain about Uber or Lyft to the customers. If you were a customer and you got in the car and you heard, "Ow, I hate my job," you might be more inclined to give them 4 stars instead of 5, or even 1 star instead of 5. It can cause poor ratings, and the person thinks, why are they doing this job if they don't like it then? Number 13, pull over safely. Remember, I discussed safety before. Safety is your #1 priority. Safety and navigation. You want to pull over in a safe spot. One thing that is very important to remember, if you do work the bar crowd, people will walk toward your car because their judgment is impaired. You will not have been pulling over yet, and people will start walking at your car, and you need to be very careful, especially later at night when you are pulling over, because you could accidentally hit somebody if you already have a bunch of momentum and they walk into the spot where you're trying to go in. So be careful. And one thing that I do, that I make sure I do with the late night crowd, is they get in my car, how was your night? And I say, oh, it was amazing. I try to set the mood as a positive one, because as we know, if the drunks get on a negative strain, it's difficult to get them out, and it could make your ride miserable. So try to keep it positive, not only for the drunks, but for all your customers. Make them smiling and happy to be in your car. So this is number 14. This is the very, very important. Every single time you end a ride, make sure you turn around and look in the back seat and give the back seat a quick scan. I have heard of passengers calling the police because they left their $800 iPhone in your car and you could not return it that very moment because you were going on to the next customer. You just please avoid any problems and just scan that back seat. Make sure nobody has left garbage on the seats so that when your next customer gets in the car, it doesn't look like trash and it hurts your rating. So make sure you do that, because if the customer ends up calling Uber, oh, I left something in their back seat, 9 times out of 10, Uber's going to give the passenger your real phone number so they can call you again. Hey, I think I left my wallet in your back seat. If you do find a wallet, I don't know if you know this, but if you find a wallet, you can, and it has their photo ID on it, you can put that in the mail and they will send it back to them. But the best idea is just bring it to Uber and Lyft and have them take care of it. Then the customer can come to Uber or Lyft and get it. You do get a $15 pickup fee, but sometimes it's way out of your way to return to their house. So I try to avoid that and just take care of business and drop it off at Uber or Lyft. This is your business, folks. It is very important to stay professional and keep that going. So I have a bonus tip for you. One thing that I did not discuss that is not part of this, if you are new at this job, remember, 100% all the time, don't put your eggs in one basket. Try to spread yourself out. If you can't work, you get deactivated for Uber, it's good to be going with Lyft, or it's good to be going with a delivery service. There's tons of delivery services. If you are new and you need an Uber code, make sure you sign up with an Uber code. If you do not sign up with an Uber code, you are not going to get that special bonus. Some places it could be up to $1,000 you could be missing out with. I do have my Uber code in description below. If you do sign up with my code, I will help you out getting started and help you get going in the right direction. Please, the most important thing is to stay safe. Thanks, guys, for listening. Hope to see you again soon. Hustle hard, but hustle smart. And if you don't hustle smart, take your broke ass home. Driver Lady Pro out. Hasta la vista, baby.